Okay, hi friends, and welcome back to Steins Gate. I do not remember what happened in the last episode because I just was watching Steins Gate 0. So I don't remember what happened, but Suzuha's nodding. That's all I got. I guess we'll find out. Suzuha nods. On paper, they're an independent technology research firm. In reality, they do the dirty work for CERN all over the world. According to Moeka, they have two chief duties. First, to acquire IBM 5100s, the only computers that can access CERN's secret database. Second, to find promising scientists in the field of time travel and force them to cooperate with CERN or eliminate them if they will not. So they already exist. I thought they might. In my time, they're our #1 enemy. Dirty work? Does that mean like kidnappings and assassinations? Suzuha looks to me with a question in her eyes. I shake my head. In my time, yes, but I don't think they've reached that level in this time yet. Daru is visibly relieved. Amane-san, you said that most of what you posted as John Teeter was true, right? Right. Does that mean you know how the universe works? You claim the Everett Wheeler model, the many worlds interpretation, is correct. That was a lie. Camouflage so that CERN wouldn't target me. If I mix one lie into the truth, then the bad apple spoils the barrel. So you don't know. I do. By 2036, scientists have successfully modeled the structure of the universe, and it's not the many worlds interpretation. Really? Tell me. Attractor fields. Right, I told you by mail, didn't I? What sort of model is that? The universe is made up of world lines and attractor fields. Suzuha walks over to Mayuri's sewing table and picks up a red ball of yarn. She holds one end of yarn and drops the ball onto the floor, then holds about a meter of yarn in front of her face. The universe is like this piece of yarn. Countless possible world lines exist side by side, branching out to infinity. From a distance, it looks like a single string, but when you look closer, the string is actually made up of individual threads woven together. At the end, those threads converge on a single point. The paths are different, but the destination is the same. Isn't that determinism? Close. This model is a little looser. You could say it cherry picks from the many worlds interpretation and the Copenhagen interpretation. If the branches all lead to the same place, does that mean there's only one world in the end? Exactly. The bundle of world lines that share a point of convergence is called an attractor field. There are also many attractor fields. This string is attractor field alpha. The threads are alpha world lines. Suzuha then cuts meter lengths of blue, yellow, and white yarn. Blue is beta, yellow is gamma, white is delta. Each is made up of countless beta world lines, gamma world lines, or delta world lines. She twists the different colored strings together, then stretches them out as one fat, multicolored string. Attractor fields are superpositioned like this. In each attractor field, the world lines converge on a different result. They don't interact. Each attractor field is independent of the others. Of course, they all diverged from a common point somewhere in the past, and they will all converge again at some point in the future, but that takes many hundreds of years. You can think of the attractor fields as very long world lines. Can you compare it to an eroge? Teach me, O erotic one. There's no one erotic here. No, he's right. It is like an eroge. Each heroine's root is an attractor field, and the small choices within are individual world lines. But at the end, they all enter the true route for the grand ending. The only difference is the length of common parts. By the way, I choose the little sister's attractor field. Ugh, gross. Whatever. You guys are hopeless. Better do something quick. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just ignore them. Let me get this straight. The real reason I can't save Mayuri is that her death is an event upon which this attractor field converges. But that means the world really is killing Mayuri. But then, isn't it impossible to change the future? It always converges in the end, right? No matter what you do, the result is the same. That's right. That's why Mayuri dies no matter how many times I leap. We have to escape attractor field alpha. Escape? In other words, we're going to jump to a world line in attractor field beta. I thought attractor fields couldn't interact. Attractor fields are normally separate, but if we go to the instant they diverge... is that now? I was taught a major divergence occurs in 2010. This year, an earth-shattering event causes divergence at the attractor field level. Last time such a divergence occurred was in the year 2000, and before that in 1991. What happened those years? Events that changed the face of the world. Huh? 1991 was the collapse of the Soviet Union, right? But what happened in 2000? 2001 had the 9/11 attacks. Wow. I'm surprised they talk about that. Wow. The year 2000 problem. Y2K? But that was just hype. Nothing happened. That's because the alpha world line we're on represents a world where Y2K didn't occur. So in other words, there are worlds where it did occur? And that brings us to 2010. Did something big happen this year? What else could it be? Suzuha looks towards the development room. But the creation of humanity's first time machine. Oh yeah! Wow! Mayuri, sweetie. One more question. Kirisu keeps plowing ahead. I guess that's what makes her a scientist. These world lines aren't parallel worlds, are they? No. Ultimately, they're just possibilities that exist simultaneously. And how would you observe the differences between world lines? Wouldn't you need a god's eye view to do that? Normally, however... Suzuha looks at me. Don't tell me. Reading Steiner? Is that what you call it? Okabe Rintoa, you have the power to observe changes across world lines, correct? Yeah. That's the key. Your power is the key to freeing the world from CERN's rule. You have the power of a god. My power? If you escape attractor field alpha and reach a beta world line, then the result will change. I feel a shiver of excitement. So there's hope? I can save Mayuri? Suzuha nods firmly. Then I must do it. I have no choice. Wait a second. Kirisu, however, is not so enthusiastic. How do we know this is all true? What if Amane-san is just making stuff up? What? I'm not making stuff up. Calm down, I'm not trying to pick a fight. But I still have questions. 1. How do you know about Okabe's power? 2. How did you know Okabe and I were in Akihabara in 2010? Don't you know a little too much for someone born in 2017? She has a point. Everyone looks to Suzuha. It was written in Dad's will. His will? What do you mean? His will was what made me decide to time travel. My dad was one of the founding members of the Resistance. He hid from CERN and researched time travel on his own. He wanted to change the future. But CERN killed him. That's why I'm here, to fulfill his dream. I'm sorry. Suzuha doesn't look at Kirisu. She still seems to have a grudge against her. Kirisu would never actively cooperate with CERN. I know that, but I just can't say it in front of Suzuha. For some reason, Suzuha really does see Kirisu as responsible for the problems of the future. But if that's the case, why doesn't Suzuha just kill Kurisu? Wouldn't that change the future too? Maybe she can't. World lines converge. No matter how hard I struggle, Mayuri dies. Similarly, it may be impossible for Suzuha to kill Kurisu, no matter how many times she may want to. Suzuha clears her throat as if to change the subject. Akihabara, 2010. The time machine created here accelerates CERN's own time machine research. We have to stop that from happening in order to guide history in a new direction. Stop it? How? CERN already knows about us. That's clear from Moaka's attack. Dad believed the ultimate cause was the very first email you sent with your time machine. An email? It wasn't because they caught us hacking? Like I said, nobody can catch my hacking. Which email are you talking about? I know. Wasn't it the email Ocarine sent that said Christian died? Right, the email I sent to Daru right after Dr. Nakabachi's conference. Oh, that. Back then, we hadn't realized yet that the phone wave, named subject to change, was a time machine. CERN probably intercepted that email and realized what it meant. They were already onto us back then? Come to think of it, the first time I met Moako was a day after I sent that email. We really jumped in the deep end, huh? Mayushi's good at the breaststroke. Oh my god. Alright, then do a sexy underwater pose. But how did they intercept our email? Hundreds of millions of emails are sent around the world each day. CERN uses the Echelon network to collect communications pertaining to time travel research worldwide. Echelon? It really exists? Sorry guys, I gotta know what that means. Okay. According to conspiracy theorists, Echelon is an advanced signals interpretation system based in the United States and operated by the NSA. However, American authorities have never publicly admitted to Echelon's existence, and no proof that it exists have ever been found. Participating countries allegedly include United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, but not France. As an ally of the United States, Japan can allow the construction of domestic Echelon stations in exchange for access to the intercepted data. The Elephant Cage antenna array, located at the Misawa Air Base in Aomori, Japan, is rumored to be one such station. These stations are said to intercept, collect, and analyze a wide range of signals, including private cell phone transmissions. That's just lovely. I love that for us. As an expert on conspiracies, I understand the implications, and they terrify me. No one else seems to get what Suzuha's saying, though. Echelon sees everything. Any transmission that even hints at time traveler is filtered and sent to CERN. For example, an email that appeared to have come from the future. We need to find the record of that email in CERN's database and delete it. If you do that, then CERN will never know you exist. Their time machine won't be completed in 2034. If we're lucky, the program may be shut down entirely. In other words, deleting that data will take us to the attractor field where CERN doesn't build the time machine. There wasn't any data like that when we hacked CERN's database. The IBN 5100. Oh, of course, CERN's IBN 5100 database. That's probably where they store the data from Echelon. So that's what it is. Damn it, Daru, why didn't we use the IBN 5100 earlier? We never had one? What are you talking about? I got one, remember? Huh? Right, that was on a different world line. On this world line, I never found the IBN 5100. My mission is to make sure that you acquire an IBN 5100. You have one? Suzuha shakes her head. I'm going to 1975 to obtain one. 1975, the year IBN 5100 went to market. I know because the John Teeter in 2000 said that was his mission. Was that John Teeter's Suzuha too? Anyway, if Suzuha can get us an IBN 5100, then we can leave this attractor field and jump to a beta world line. or CERN never finds us and their time machine is never completed. Mayuri won't have to die. Alright, we need to move fast. How soon can you leave, Suzuha? I was trying to leave when you caught me, but... Suzuha bows her head apologetically. I look at her burnt hand. She's hiding it from Mayuri and Daru, but I can see the blood staining my handkerchief. It hurts to look at. Maybe we should get her to a doctor. Right, your time machine's broken. Can you fix it? No, I just ride it. My dad's the one who built it. I've memorized the manual, so I know how it works, but... It doesn't mean she knows how to repair it, and there's no guarantee that a time machine from 2036 can be repaired with today's technology. Maybe we can use the time leap machine to go back before Amane-san's time machine broke. Wait, you're going to use the time leap machine? Wasn't the plan to not experiment? I mean, Daru, we've already done it. I still haven't told Daru about my time leaping. There's no time to explain. We'll use it if the situation demands. Do you know when it broke, Suzuha? No, but it was probably the rain a few days ago. It's supposed to be airtight, but the inside was all wet when I checked it today. Maybe it made a hole when you crashed into Radicon? That wasn't a crash. The coordinates were slightly off, so it just appeared there. It's not exactly the most stable machine. Anyone remember when it rained? The morning of the 10th, just before dawn. The time leap machine can only cover 48 hours in a single leap. And the time leap machine was completed today, the 13th, at 2 p.m. That means we can't go farther back than 2 p.m. on the 11th. Damn, we can't get there with the time leap machine. I thought we had a glimmer of hope. I think we should try to fix it. Yeah, it's a time machine, so we have plenty of time, right? Oh my god, Mayuri, honey. Kirisu, Suzuha, and I say nothing. We know. In less than 2 hours, Mayuri will die. It's already 5:30. There's barely enough time to sneak into Radicon, let alone fix Suzuha's time machine. Maybe I should leap now to 2 p.m. on the 11th, then we'll have 2 full days to fix the machine. You're all hungry, aren't you? You should be. What's this all of a sudden? Mayushi's hungry. As expected from a glutton. I take a 10,000 yen bill out of my wallet. Mayuri, Daru, I leave the shopping to you. We can come up with a plan while we eat. Oh, wow, Ocarine. What are we going to do with all this money? Buy food. Lots of food. Use it all. You just calmly hand over a 10,000 yen bill. Wow, Ocarine, you make it look easy. That's why we love you. That's why we admire you. Mayuri and Daru leave in high spirits. I knew the 10,000 yen bill would work. Christina, Teeter. Teeter? Is that me? Who else? Why are you calling me that now? Because you're the one behind Teeter's mask. Well, yeah, but... Just give up. Okabe rarely calls anyone by their name. Oh yeah, he calls me part-time warrior for some reason. Listen, you two, I'm going to leap to 2 p.m. on the 11th. After Teeter explains herself again, we'll start repairs on the time machine. Our goal is to have it working by this time today. Is that the best plan? It's better than trying to fix it when we only have 2 hours left. If it doesn't work, I'll just keep repeating the same 2 days. I'm sorry. Teeter, we're counting on you to get us an IBN 5100. Never forget, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for... and I'm not doing it for the future. My mission is to save Mayuri. Call me self-righteous if you want. However, I'm doing this my way. Kurisu and Suzuha give an encouraging nod in agreement. Good, then let's begin. You're not going to name the operation? Who cares about that? This isn't a game. Mayuri's life hangs in the balance. You couldn't find a good Norse mythology themed name? Why Norse mythology? I don't think there's a deep meaning behind it. Chunny BU patients love Germanic names for some reason. Now that you mention it, most of our operation names in the Resistance had Germanic names too. Whenever I ask, they say it's tradition. So there's still Chunny BU in 2036. Cut the chatter. Mayuri's life hangs in the balance. There's no time for this nonsense. Kurisu sets up the time leap machine while Suzuha goes to turn on the 42-inch CRT. Well before Mary returns, I leap. When I come to, I'm standing with my phone in my hand. While I wait for the ringing in my ears to subside, I check the time and date on my phone screen. August 11th, 2:21 p.m. Alright, now I have 2 more days. As a matter of fact, I leapt twice. First at 2 p.m. on the 13th when the mission was completed. From there, I leapt an additional 48 hours to 2 p.m. on the 11th. It was my first consecutive leap, but it seems to have gone well. Wait, what? Why would you have had to leap twice? It was the 13th. What? Why the fuck would you have had to leap twice? It can go 48 hours past when it was made, and it was finished at 2 p.m. So he time-lapsed back to when it was finished, and then time-lapsed again to 48 hours ahead of that? Because how is he able to do that if the time leap machine isn't complete yet? What? Alright, I'm a little confused now. Because it didn't exist on the 11th. I don't know, that hurts my brain. Chat, if anybody knows, chat, comments, leave me a comment down below and let me know if you understand it. Because that didn't make any sense to me, because I thought he could only time leap as far as when the thing was completed. And I know that they explained it, that he can technically go 48 hours ahead of time. But I don't understand how. I'm just a little bit confused. Anyways, whatever. I immediately head downstairs to see Suzuha. I'm relieved to see her hand isn't burned. When I explain the situation, Suzuha races to Radicon to confirm my story. After she realized I'm telling the truth, I take her back to the lab and have her repeat the explanation she gave us before I time leaped. We come to the conclusion that all we can do right now is our best to repair Suzuha's time machine. Let's go take a look. Daru is unusually enthusiastic. I guess Suzuha's talk of attractor fields and divergence and correcting history mistakes got his blood pumping. Hold on, everyone. Mayuri stops us as we're about to leave the lab. Guys, aren't we forgetting something? Like what? What about Suzu-san's dad? Oh, right. I thought Suzuha was lying about that. But when I turn to her, she looks away. That doesn't matter now, does it? It does too. I mean, it'll take time to fix the time machine, won't it? We should help Suzu-san find her dad in the meantime. Right? But when I show reluctance, Mayuri puffs out her cheeks. Don't be like that, Ocarine. You have to keep your promise. What promise? We promised, remember? We said we'd all look for Suzu-san's dad. That's right. I convinced her to stay by promising to help look for her father. Yeah, I remember. I know Suzu-san has a mission and stuff, but I think she also came because she really wanted to meet her dad. Maybe she wants to make that happen. If Mayuri feels that strongly about it, then there's no way I can refuse. Shina Mayuri, you're such a nice girl. Suzuha sniffles. You're right. I thought I could find him if I came to this town. I know he was in Akihabara in 2010. So your father's real? Of course he is. At this age, he's probably still young and cool. His name was Beryl Teeter, right? Yeah, that's right. Wow, a foreigner? No, I'm pretty sure he's Japanese. Beryl Teeter is just his code's name in the Resistance. I don't think he's using it yet. So that's why Suzuha calls herself John Teeter. I don't know his real name. Some daughter, huh? Suzuha looks like she's about to cry for an instant, but quickly covers it with a bitter smile. He died before he could tell me. Hearing that, I realized how hellish the world she came from must be. What about your surname, Amane? That was my mother's maiden name. So you have no leads? Leads. Oh, there is one thing. Suzuha clasps her hands together and starts patting her pockets. A few seconds later, she reaches into one and pulls out a pin? I've seen Suzuha fiddling with it before. It's just a regular pin, the kind you stick on your hat or bag. There's something written on it. It reads OSHAHM **A 7010. This belonged to my dad. A memento. Google it, Daru. Daru runs a search but only gets incomprehensible foreign sites. He was here in Akihabara, so I think we can exclude the foreign sites. Okay, got it. He narrows down the search to Japanese sites. But even then, none of the results look relevant. Nothing. But this has to be some kind of hint. With Suzuha's permission, I take a picture of the pin. Okay, all in favor of helping Suzu-san find her dad? I want to argue that there's no time for that, but Mayuri's right when she says that the time machine won't be ready for a while. I guess there's no harm in letting her have her way. After all, there's no point in running, not even with 2 days head start. Even if I dragged Mayuri to the ends of the earth, we wouldn't be able to escape her death. I know that now. No objections. Thanks, Ocarine. Hehehe. Daru raises his hand in agreement. So does Kirisu. It's decided. We'll help Suzuha find her father. Everyone, thank you. Okay, so here's a random question that I'm just gonna throw out there. I know that this is like the 13th episode of this or something, but do you guys prefer me reading it to you, or would you rather read it yourself? Just out of curiosity, until this episode is put up, I won't know the answer. So I will continue reading it until you guys tell me otherwise. But yeah, let me know if you care. To let me know. And if you want me to not read it and you guys can read it. The only issue with that, I guess, is my VTuber's in the way. So there's that too, I suppose. But yeah, just let me know. Let me know what you think. But I want to be clear that my mission to 1975 comes first. That was my dad's final wish, after all. So if we still haven't found him by the time repairs are complete, I think we should give up. Is that okay? Are you sure? If we still haven't found him by then, it just wasn't meant to be. It's a relief to hear Suzuha say that. The pin is our only hint. We'll hit every store in Akiba that sells things like this. Maybe someone will know where it came from. What kind of stores? Akiba is full of niche stores where you can find strange and cool accessories. It's hard to sneak into Radicon in the daytime. There isn't a crowd out front like before, but pedestrian traffic remains constant. It takes about 30 minutes to find a way in. Kurisu is back at the lab working on the time leap machine. It needs to be complete by 2 p.m. on the 13th. If she's late, it could affect my ability to time leap, which would lower my chances of saving Mayuri. Speaking of Mayuri, she wandered off somewhere in search of Suzuha's father. How does it look? I call the Daru, who's examining the flooded satellite, time machine, while Suzuha and I keep a lookout. Daru crawls out of the machine. He's covered in sweat and his breathing is heavy. We quickly help pull his huge body out. The time machine is completely visible from the street. If someone were to see us up here, they might report us to the police. It's been 2 weeks since the satellite appeared, but Akiba still has tourists who come just to see it. We need to take care not to be noticed. It's so freaking hot in there. It's worse than a sauna. Spend too much time in there and I'll turn into Daru jerky. By the way, it's not going to fall or anything, right? The time machine is balanced precariously on the ledge, but the police have hooked up support wires, so Daru has nothing to worry about. Can it be fixed? Well, I still don't know for sure, but there's one thing I noticed just now. It's built kind of like the phone wave. That means there's a chance, right? I said I'm not sure. I need to poke around some more. Daru, Super Haka. Everything depends on your skills now. You are the Super Haka who will save the world. In 2036, people will worship you instead of Kurisu, the mother of the time machine. It's hacker. How many times do I have to tell you? Anyway, you have 2 days. Do whatever it takes, Daru. I place my hand on Daru's shoulder and look straight into his eyes. You're our only hope. No promises, man. And why 2 days? Well, because that's when Mayuri will die, but I can't say that. In 2 days, the weather conditions will be perfect for creating the ring singularity. If we miss that window, we won't have another chance until next year. Nice excuse, Suzuha. Precisely. Fix it in 2 days? That's just nuts. But if you do, you'll earn the right to a date with Ferris. Can you fix it? No problem. Great, now I need to figure out how I'm going to convince Ferris. We're searching for something with the same cryptic logo as this mysterious pin. Honestly, I didn't think it would be this difficult. Akiba has plenty of niche stores, but they're all for electronic goods and PC parts. There aren't that many selling accessories like Suzuha's pin. We check everyone we can find, but come up empty-handed. None of the store employees have any idea where it came from either. We even check nearby neighborhoods like Ueno and Asakusa. Nothing. Suzuha and I return to the lab with heavy hearts. Welcome back. Kurisu emerges from the development room to greet us. She's alone. From the looks on your faces, I guess you didn't find anything. Where's Daru? He hasn't come back yet. It's already dark, so maybe he just went straight home? It's too dark to work at Radicon now. We can't use the lights because that would be too conspicuous to the people below. Mayuri isn't around. Is she making any progress in the search for Suzuha's father? I feel bad. There's no time for this. It's not for you. We're doing it to save Mayuri. Yeah. I start up Daru's computer and search the net for communities of people who collect unique pins. I'll investigate tomorrow based on the information I find. There's a pin collecting group on a site called Free Para where everyone shows off their collections. I post there asking for information. Jesus. I'm sleeping on the couch when a loud alarm rings in my ears. Is it CERN? I jump up and see Kurisu and Suzuha. Kurisu is holding her phone. That's the source of the sound. Good morning. Her sour expression says it's not good at all. I wish she'd put herself in my shoes and see what it's like to be woken up suddenly like that. I checked the time on my phone. It's just before 7 a.m. You came to wake me up? Thanks. I didn't do it for you. I asked her to wake you up, Okabe Rintaro. There's something I want to show you. Ah, what do you know? I realize there's a strange object sitting on the table in front of me. What's this? A divergence meter. The numbers indicate the divergence value of the current world line. The meter displays 0.337187. Remember these numbers, chat? Comments, whatever you want to be called, blood donors, because they are important. Mostly the first 3 numbers, but if you can pay attention to all of them, it will change, I'm assuming. Divergence is measured from my original world line, which corresponds to 0. You made this? No, I brought it with me from 2036. These are Nixie tubes, right? Whoever made this has taste. I'll gladly dub it the future gadget number 9. How exactly does it work? It shouldn't be possible to measure changes like that. Suzuha shrugs. I don't know either. You don't know? Can you guess who made it? How should I know? You did, Okabe Rintaro. Huh? You made it, 11 years from now. It apparently works the same way your special power does. Huh. So this meter lets other people check world line divergence? I wish. I'm pretty sure only Okabe would notice if the number changed. What? Then there's no point. Make something useful for once, Okabe. I ignore Kirisu's complaints and look at the meter again. This is something I made. 15 years have passed since I completed it. 11 years will pass before I complete it. It's a strange feeling. Only the person who made it knows how it works. Wait 11 years, I'm sure he'll have figured it out by then. Have you met me in the future? She did say I was an infamous terrorist in 2036. For some reason, Suzuha's expression darkens momentarily. No, never. Oh. So why are you showing me this? When the meter reads over 1%, you've made it to the beta world line. 1%. Right. Reach 1%'s divergence and you'll save Shina Mayuri. I stare at the glowing red numbers. They don't budge. Just another 0.6. It seems so easy. But there are 6 digits after the decimal point and no tens place. What does it mean? Something tells me it won't be as easy as it looks. You can have it. No point in me carrying it around. I hope you'll find a use for it. Based on the recommendations from the BBS thread, I spend the morning visiting stores in Akiba. My destination runs the gamut from otaku stores packed with anime goods to souvenir shops full of Olympic memorabilia. I even visit a few that specialize in locally manufactured goods. But although I hit just about every kind of store that could be considered niche, I am unable to find anything that resembles Suzuha's pin. Maybe I should go all the way to Ikebukuro or Nakano. I start heading back to the lab, but just then, a street vendor catches my eye. The storekeeper is a foreigner covered in tattoos. The table next to him is covered with accessories and other fashion items. This is the first time I've seen such a stylish street stand in Akiba. Most vendors just sell random junk. It's not like I have anything to lose, so I walk over and check out the selection. Among the various accessories, I see a number of metal pins. What a coincidence. Could he have a pin like Suzuha's? I don't see the OSHM **A 7010 logo on any of the displayed accessories, but I'd better ask just to be sure. He's a foreigner, so maybe I should use English? Our eyes meet. His eyes are bright and blue as the sky. I quickly look away. Damn, he must think I'm a coward. Better get this over with. Hey, master, I am a mad scientist. So cool, son of a bitch. What the fuck? Can I help you? He smiles a wide, toothy smile, nice teeth, and answers in Japanese. I was hoping for more of a reaction. I have a question, if you don't mind. I take the photocopy of Suzuha's pin out of my pocket. Does this look familiar? The man stares at it for a while, then shrugs and shakes his head in the exaggerated manner typical of Westerners. Blah, 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 blah. I want to know where it came from. Can you help me find out? Remember? Sorry. It's a little difficult, eh? What? What is he saying? By the way, where'd you get this thing? That's what I want to know. I'll compensate you. Sorry. He apologizes in broken Japanese. It looks like this is another dead end. Just in case, I give him my contact information and ask him to get in touch if he finds out anything. Then I turn to leave. Okabe Rintaro. Suzuha is standing a short distance away. She's holding a drink. My favorite, Dr. P. No, wait, that's cola. Sup? Want a drink? I accept the offer and quench my thirst while leaning on the roadside fence. Last time I saw her, Suzuha was on the way to Kanda to continue the search. How long has she been standing here? Anything? Nope. So what was with your English back there? It sounded dumb. So cool. Is that standard English in this era? Of course not. Oh, so it's an Okabe Rintaro original. There's no overseas travel in my time, so I wouldn't know. No overseas travel? What, you mean at all? Pretty much. Travel permits are hard to get, and they'd never issue one for a vacation. I'd never seen a foreigner come before coming to this time. So in the future, no one is allowed to leave Japan? Japan was like the few centuries ago too, when the Tokugawa shogunate closed the country to the west. It sounds like CERN set international relations back hundreds of years. Perhaps that's why there's no war in Suzuha's time. It's hard for conflicts to emerge when races and cultures can't interact. It sounds kind of like a prison with invisible walls, guarded by CERN and the Committee of 300. I mean, ending war is obviously a good thing, but... Anyway, there's no point thinking about the distant future now. We need to come up with a new plan. The sunlight beats on my head, making it hard to think. I feel like I'm standing in a sauna. Why does the sun hate me so much? Shining in the center of the sky like he owns the damn place. Damn it, why can't we find any information on that pin? I suppose there's no skin off my back if we don't find Suzuha's father. As long as Daru fixes the time machine, nothing else matters. So why do I feel so bad about my lack of progress? I really don't know. Maybe I'm just frustrated by my own powerlessness. I can't save Mayuri. I can't fix Suzuha's time machine. I can't even help Kurisu with the time leap upgrade. So what am I good for? The only thing I can do is help Suzuha find her father. Maybe this pin is newer than we think. I mean, maybe it hasn't been made yet. Suzuha stretches, then looks at me with a calm smile. Maybe I'm not meant to meet him. I mean, we've tried everything and still no sign. It's just not in the cards, I guess. I feel a surge of anger at her words. Here I am stewing in self-loathing and she acts like it doesn't matter? How can you give up? We still have one more day. Why are you getting mad? Everyone's fighting for you. Don't you get it? Me, I want to prioritize Mayuri over everything else. But you're still a lab mem, a friend. When a friend's in trouble, you want to help them. That's how Mayuri felt, and I agree. And that's why I'm searching. How dare you be the first to give up? You don't have to yell. Don't disappoint me like this. I tell myself to calm down. This is just my own feelings of impotence boiling over. There's no time for this. I'm sorry, but maybe you should think about how I feel. I realize we have an audience. Some pedestrians are grinning at us like they think we're a bickering couple or something. I take a deep breath. You're right, I shouldn't have said that. It's too awkward to make eye contact. So I look around, pretending to think. Alright, what's next? I wonder how the other lab mems are progressing. I'm especially concerned about Daru. Depending on the situation, he might need some relief. He's been working in that heat for hours, so we should bring him something cold to drink. And then there's Mayuri. She's been working alone, trying to find some information on Suzuha's father. If I close my eyes, I can still recall her deaths in every detail. I resist the urge to pound my head against the wall. Although we still have over 24 hours before that happens, I can't help but worry about leaving her alone. But currently, all I can do is search for that pin. We decide to try Ikebukuro for our last stop for today. It would be nice to visit home, but I don't have the time, and besides, Suzuha's with me. Our search turns up nothing. As the evening wears on without a single lead, Suzuha and I grow quieter and quieter. We're exhausted from walking, and we can't shake the feeling that all of our efforts are futile. This isn't good. By the way, I try stirring up conversation. I should get her to talk about the future. After all, she is a time traveler. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I remember how shocked Kirisu was to learn that she only lives to be 44. And I was told that I'd become a terrorist. Am I really famous in 2036? As a terrorist? Oh. So what did I do to be called a terrorist? You rebelled against CERN. You're actually one of the founding members of the Resistance, just like my dad. I helped found the Resistance. I guess that makes sense given what we're going through now. Suzuha is from the future of this timeline where Mayuri is doomed to die and where CERN forces Kirisu to build a time machine. In such a future, how could I not rebel against CERN? Rebellion against the system, destruction of order, new age of chaos. Weren't those my ambitions as a mad scientist? How stupid. Stupid? How can I still be chasing some Chinibiyu fantasy when I couldn't even save Mayuri? You're fighting to free humanity. I think it's a noble cause. Suzuha is part of the resistance I formed. Does that mean she's my subordinate in the future? What sort of man am I? Suzuha's expression darkens. I said we've never met, remember? Never? Never. You were killed by CERN in 2025. I was killed by the same people who killed Mayuri. They had no reservations about murdering an innocent girl. I doubt they would hesitate to kill a terrorist. Maybe I should have told you sooner. Understand? If you don't train the future, you're going to die in 15 years. Shina Mayuri will die. You will die. Makise Kirisu will be a slave to CERN. It ends badly for every lab mem. What about Daru? I don't remember hearing about him. I have heard legends of a wizard-class hacker, though. Though I don't understand what wizard-class means in the first place. Wizard-class. I coined that term. I can imagine Daru slowly insinuating himself into every corner of the internet until he becomes a godlike virtual presence that not even CERN can comprehend. Anyway, I don't want that to happen to you guys. That's one more reason I need to find an IBN 5100 and change the future. Until I came to this time, you guys were just stories, history, but now you're my friends. I want to save you. Appreciated. You are a lab mem now and forevermore. Thanks. I already told Kirisu I was confident in her ability to complete the machine on time. Are you sure I can finish the time leap machine in a day? We still haven't found our lifter substitute, remember? I can't complete the upgrade without it. But it occurs to me that I forgot to tell her about the 42-inch CRT. Our lifter is the 42-inch CRT downstairs. The electrical discharge phenomenon occurs when it's turned on. So don't worry about it, just finish the upgrade. There, that should do it. I send a reply and decide to keep searching for the pin with Suzuha just a bit longer. Time is quickly running out. Is there anything more we can do? I don't know. It's early evening, but the roof of Radicon is still hotter than hell. When I provide Daru Daru with a refreshing gift of Dr. P, a frown appears on his sweaty face. You're supposed to give me an ice cold 0-calorie cola. Common sense, man. I forgot he's a cola guy. No sense letting it go to waste. I drink the Dr. P myself. Daru and Suzuha start discussing the time machine. Mayuri and I watch from a short distance away. Hey, Ocarine, isn't it amazing that the satellite was a time machine? Yeah, I guess so. I thought the Tiger's time machine was a car, a 1970s Chevy. It never even occurred to me to suspect it the satellite. I should have known better than to take anything for granted. In retrospect, the satellite was suspicious from the start. Not only had it appeared out of nowhere, but Teeter only started posting afterward. I'm disappointed in myself for not realizing the connection. I'm glad Suzu-san wasn't hurt in the crash. I doubt it was anything like a crash. Probably just appeared there, displacing the wall, which then collapsed around it. After all, the time machine isn't self-propelled, it doesn't fly. I heard it's really hard to drive. I guess she heard that from Suzuha. If the gravitational whatchamacallit coordinates are just a teensy bit off, the whole time machine becomes a jelly man and goes ploop. And she even said her time machine's unstable since it's not a CERN model. I'm worried about her trip to 1975. You think I should go with her? I wonder if I'd fit. What would you do in 1975? I'd cheer Suzu-san on, of course. I'd hold her hand super tight and tell her that everything is going to be okay. Something tells me that won't be much help. Hey, Ocarine, do you think the time machine has a name? A name. It's the least of what I want to know about the time machine. Time permitting, I'd like to spend a whole day picking Suzuha's brain. I'm pretty sure John Titor's time machine had a model number. But the John Titor from 2000 might not have been Suzuha. There was no John Titor in 2000 on this world line after all. Although, I suppose it's possible that Suzuha will drop by 2000 after traveling to 1975. If you want to know, just ask Teeter. Oh yeah, Mayushi didn't think of that, hehe. Mayuri giggles and then runs off to talk to Suzuha. She comes back quickly. Yep, it has a name. What is it? FG-204 or something something, she said. Something something? Anyway, don't you think Daru-kun and Suzu-san are a good match? Huh? Mayuri's jumping all over the place today. How do you figure? Daru is all about Ferris, you know. Oh, really? She tilts her head to the side. Good grief. Mayuri and I aren't of any use. I would prefer to leave Daru and Suzuha to it and resume the search for Suzuha's father, but Mayuri seems happy just sitting here. We don't have any leads on the pin or its owner. Maybe 2 days just aren't enough. No, that's quitter talk. Like I told Suzuha, I don't want to give up. Besides, even if we don't get the information we need this time, I can use the time leap machine to repeat these 2 days until we do. Oh yeah, Mayuri, what happened to your costumes? There's only a few more days until Kamima. I remember Mayuri pulling all-nighters to get her costumes done. Has that changed? I already made 2 costumes. One for Kaede and one for Fubuki. Weren't you making a third one for Rukuko? Yeah, I was, but I couldn't convince her, so I gave up this time. Hey, can Mayushi take a closer look at the time machine? Just don't get in their way. Okie dokie. He's so fucking cute. Mayuri beams happily, then runs over to the time machine. She's acting like this is a field trip. Behind her, the sun glows dark and orange on the horizon. It's quite a view from up here. After a few minutes, watching the sunset in silence, I realize that Suzuha is standing behind me. She must have come over as Mayuri left. Our shadows are long and murky. 50 CG achievement. Huh? Hashida Ataru is amazing. He said if things go well, he could have the time machine fixed by tomorrow. He's a man who gets things done. And he looks so unhealthy and slow. Don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, I have a better impression of him now. Hey. There's something I want to say, and I feel like I'll never get another chance. Why so melodramatic? I'm really grateful to you. All of you. When I came to this time, I didn't know anyone. I was all alone in a world completely different from my own. This era is so peaceful. That's a wonderful thing, but it scared me. All I knew was the fight against CERN. But now I have friends, real friends, who I can share my secrets with. All these people who lived before I was born are working so hard for my sake. It's a strange feeling, but a happy one too. I wanted you to know that. Suzuha's tone is wistful. Why? I try to speak, but she continues before I can. Living with you guys in this time, it's been really fun. Yeah. When I met you, you were all so strange and unique and over the top. I was kind of shocked at first, actually. But before I knew it, I started to enjoy spending time with you. 2036 is peaceful too. People don't even fight anymore. Did you know that? How could I? I'm not even alive in 2036, right? Oh, right. Sorry. Anyway, people don't fight, ever, about anything. All forms of conflict, war included, have vanished. Poof, without a trace. Instead, everyone has dead eyes, like fish. No one has ambition, nobody dreams. They just trudge throughout their lives without a single complaint. Oh sure, people smile, but they never get angry or sad. There's no individuality. Everyone's a robot. You got really mad at me before, remember? I was really surprised, but at the same time, I was really happy. You're a strange girl. Haha, I guess so. Suzuha looks at the time machine. Daru and Mayuri are standing next to it, talking cheerfully about something or other. You're all so bright and full of life. I envy you. Shina Mayuri, Hashida Ataru, even Makise Kurisu, and of course you. Don't be ridiculous. There's nothing enviable about me. I'm worthless. I can't even save Mayuri. I want to be more like you. If you ask me, you're the amazing one. I'm happy to hear you say that. It's thanks to all of you I'm still going strong. Being a lab mem, even just for a little while, was great. She smiles, then a soft, sad smile that tears at my heart. What does it mean? Being with you guys, even just for a little while, was great. Suzuha? Change the future. Change the future, Okabe Rinchiro. Make it a world like this one, where people can be free. Hey, come on, why are you being so sentimental? Does she not want to go to 1975? But I mean, she's got a time machine, so she can't just come back afterwards? Even as I think it, I realize how wrong I am. Of course. When Suzuha completes her mission and brings us the IBN 5100, the world line will change. The future will be rewritten, and the 2036 she knows will cease to exist. To hear her describe it, the future's an awful place, but even so, it was her home. She has friends there, I'm sure, comrades in arms, and memories of her father, Beryl Teeter. All of that will be lost to her forever. No wonder she's getting sentimental. After we fix the time machine, let's have a party. Thanks. And yet, she's still smiling that sorrowful smile. Afterwards, I hit the streets again and searched for the pin. But the day ended without a single lead, so I reluctantly returned to the lab and started searching the internet. A couple of hours later, and still no luck. So far, I've accomplished absolutely nothing. My frustration is mounting. I can leap again, but will that really help us find Suzuha's father? An unfamiliar number. I don't know. Answer it. It's me. Hi, Mr. Okabe Rintaro? The voice is heavily accented. I can barely make it out. Who is this guy? CERN? I jump to my feet and scan the room, then run to the window and check the road below. No suspicious figures in sight. Kursu comes out of the development room and gives me a questioning look, but I wave her back inside. CERN? What is that? I gulp and carefully choose my words. Identify yourself. You, one more afternoon, came to our factory, make inquiry, and told me your telephone number, you know? What are you saying? No, wait. I've heard this broken Japanese before. The strange Japanese filters through my brain, connecting synapses. That's right. It's the foreign street vendor I met in this afternoon in Akiba. Identified. Nice to meet you. Oh, you're welcome. I do custom work. Yesterday night, I guest come here. I remembered. That guest was please make pin badge, same one you had. I don't quite get what he's saying, but he seems really excited about it. I'll head there right now. I go to the same spot as before. Although his stand has already closed, the Westerner is waiting for me. Oh, Okabe! Hello! Where did that guest of yours go? Client come here was yesterday time. The blue-eyed white man shrugs his shoulders. So it was yesterday. He contacted me because he remembered. What's his contact info? His name and address. Poison. Guest just for simulation. Private information have nothing. So last night someone came by wanting to make make metal pins with the same design as Suzuha's. But he died of poisoning? Or the guest was just a simulation? So there's no private information? I'm not following. Japanese, very studious and awarding private information, become nervous and serious, yes? That doesn't help. If guest gave name and telephone number, however, no leak. That is business. Fatigue suddenly weighs down on my shoulders. I don't understand a word he's saying anymore. My head is full of question marks. In hindsight, I should have brought Kirisi to speak English for me. I guess I'll just have to wing it. What did your customer look like? Man, woman? Well, so young, or so middle. Japanese have young face. Just by look, no understand. Anything else? Maybe a judo fighter or a pro wrestler? What? Judo? Pro wrestler? What do you mean by that? Yes. That wasn't a yes or no question. What the hell do you mean? Ah, balloon! Was balloon! Balloon? Judo? Pro wrestling? Good. No, not good. Are you trying to confuse me? I want to ask more questions, but the foreigner suddenly sees a policeman walking by and runs off. I consider chasing him, but decide against it to avoid police attention. I give up. The search has hit a dead end, and we barely have any time left to find Barrel Teeter. I can time leap again starting at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Looks like all I can do is wait until Christina's done working, and leap to the time the suspicious character appears at the stand. Alright guys, I'm going to end it here, and then we will get on to the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.